everybody, Tori here, and it's that time. Dotcom Secret 30-day book review. Yes, that's correct. It is day 19, and we have made it into section 3 of the book. We're going to start talking about the different funnel scripts that you can use with the different funnels, and we are going to be talking secret number 18, the curiosity-based headline script today. So Russell starts off this section talking about how as he started building different funnels that he started seeing different patterns emerge about which types of scripts that he was using. So he put together different scripts to make it easier as he worked on different funnels to pull out those different scripts so that he would then be able to speak directly to the customer how needed to be spoken to with each of the funnels, which is where all of our scripts have come from. Now, Russell, sorry, I jumped ahead of my story. So as Russell has figured out all the different scripts, in the first Dotcom Secret book, he would put the scripts with each of the funnels. But in this one, he had Jim Edward help him out with organizing some of the scripts because he loves it so much. And if any of you guys have ever checked out funnel scripts that Jim Edward has created, it is amazing, especially if you're new to copy or you need help with being able to have stronger headlines. I am doing a review on this later, so make sure to check it out later. But it is incredible. It has helped me so much just be able to learn and understand how copy works better, to be able to just fill in questions, and that it then will build the script for you that then you can go back and look at and tweak so it's more in your words that you're saying. Is totally worth the one-time payment that you pay to get funnel scripts. So check that out. I will have more on that coming. But back to the book. We are going into front-end lead funnel scripts. And the first one that we're working on is secret number 18. It's curiosity-based headline scripts. Now, mastering the art of headlines, of writing headlines, is something that you have to do. Because if you think about it, headlines are everywhere. They're in your ads. They're in your funnels. They're in the landing pages. They're on the sales pages. They're in the upsells, the downsells. They're everywhere. So you have to figure out how to master them and then to be able to use the headline to target your audience. So you have to know the audience that you are targeting to make your headlines even more efficient. Jim ends up taking over the chapter at this point to talk about all of the different headlines that he has crafted for us. Jim starts off with this great story about how he is supposed to be going to teach us a webinar way back in the day, and he gets there and is warned that this group of people that he is going to be speaking to are all very hard-nosed, and that they don't give outsiders a big chance, and that they're very kind of stuck. And so Jim's like, oh my gosh, I have to be able to get into these people right away. I need to make a big impact with them. I need to grab them with some kind of a hook. So he gets there, he asks the secretary if she has any duct tape of any kind. Turns out she does. He ends up going in and has had different ads, because he was going over how to run ads and things, and tapes off all of the headlines, and has an example of the company's one, which of course was missing a headline. So they all filter in, and he has all these posters around with the headlines all taped off, and he immediately asks them, well, what's wrong with everything? And everybody's like, oh, there's no headlines, there's no headlines. And so he's like, okay, you're right, there's no headlines. Well, then he pulls out the company's ad and shows it to them and is like, well, what's wrong with this one? And they're all looking at him and they stop and they're like, well, that's not fair. You haven't taught us anything yet. And he's like, really? I haven't? He's like, look at it again. And all of a sudden they all realize that they're like, oh, it doesn't have a headline. And he was like, see the impact? And so from that point in the workshop, he had their full attention. He even had people coming up to them afterwards saying, thank you so much. You gave the most impactful workshop that I've ever seen for my team. And that team actually left with more knowledge than the team leader thought they were going to get out of it. So all from just knowing the audience and getting the good headline. So Jim also reminds us that the number one goal of your headline is to hook the right people, to stop what they're doing, pre-frame them for your story or your sales message, and to get them to the next step in your sales copy. It's not to sell them at all. So you have to remember that. To be successful with everything. Now, in different headlines, as in an ad headline, the headline there is to get them to stop, read the ad, and click the button. On a funnel page, the headline stops them in their tracks, arouses curiosity and desire to learn more about what to offer, and to get them to move to the next step on the sales copy. In an email, a good headline, aka the subject line, gets them to open the email. In a video, the headline is the first sentence that you say out of your mouth that gets people excited and curious to stick around for the rest of the video. So no matter where you're using this headline, you have to remember its job is not to sell, but to hook the right target audience member to stop what they're doing. Now, the next one are question headlines. This is a fast way to create curiosity and to ask a question about something the target audience really desires to have or they want to avoid, such about like worried about, and then you input your pain point, it taking too long to process your sale, or it's worried about not getting enough sleep if they're having sleeping problems. So you also want to think about when you're using your headlines, such as in ads, how important it is for that headline to grab somebody's attention and to get more people to click. If you can double your clicks that you get in with keeping the same amount of ad spend that you're using, you are then increasing your profits. Besides that one increment difference or whatever the initial process is, all of that extra double part is all profit. So you can 10 times your profits by just having the appropriate headlines. Now, you also need to realize that if you have a headline that is not working, that you need to switch it out. Change the way it is. The headlines need to be about the audience, not about you. Anything that you can do to fix for the audience is going to convert better in a headline than if the headline is featured you-base. Now, you also need to remember when you're using the headlines that there's different types of traffic out there. You have your hot traffic, which are all the people that know who you are. They already know your products. They know everything about you. So you don't need a lot of warm up to them. You then have warm traffic, which here, these people know that they have a problem, but they don't know you have the solution to their problem yet. So you need to still talk to them and introduce yourself to them before they're going to connect you to fixing their problem. Whereas cold traffic is they only know they have a problem. They don't know how to fix it. They don't know who to go to fix it. So you can see how the headlines would be different for each of those traffic models. You also need to pay attention that if you have a main landing page, which is why you need to know your avatar and where you are directing your traffic, because you don't want technically all three traffics to go to one landing page. Most of the time, if someone is diversifying their traffic and they have everything set up so that they can shoot for hot, warm, and cold traffic at the same time, they're going to have a different landing page that they're sending everyone to so that there's a headline that coordinates with each. A hot traffic headline is going to be able to mention you and the product in the headline because you're already warm to them, such as your big result with your new product is whatever's guaranteed, but you're going to have the results that you're going to do for them with your product name listed out because one, they already know who you are and they've been hearing about this product, so why they would be able to go that way. Warm traffic headlines, you need to talk about the payoff or the benefit that they're seeking. An example of this one is, see how easy you can lose weight without taking pills. So you once again are pointing out the big result that you're going to be able to do and the pain that you're going to take away from them. In a cold traffic headline, you're going to use the problem to hook them. Don't let not losing weight stop you. They're like, what? What do you mean, don't let it stop me? How, you're going to get their pain in the headline that is going to hook them to want to know more information on the next page. So being aware of the traffics is a very important first step. But Jim wanted us to also be aware that it's not a hard and fast rule, that the way he feels you should remember the purpose of the headline, that it's to grab the attention of the right people, to get them to stop, to create curiosity to find out more, and to pre-frame them for what's coming next. People buy to satisfy a desire or to solve a problem, and the headline is where the buying process starts, so you've got to remember them. You can also use curiosity headlines as well, and then the three areas that he wanted you to focus on, no matter what the traffic temperature are, is to have a clear desire of what you're going to satisfy, having a pressing problem that really needs to be solved, and then a nagging or intense pain that they want to avoid or eliminate. If you keep headlines around that, then it's going to be a headline that works. But in the end, you have to also remember, he said, that the only opinion about a headline, it doesn't matter if you love that headline, the only opinion that matters is the person with that credit card making that purchase from you, giving you the answer if it was a good headline or not by them purchasing. So if you are seeing that in your funnel nothing is happening, you've had the right amount of traffic that has come in and something should have happened, you need to immediately take action. And the first thing you can do is to stop, look at your headline, see if it is having the targeted effect on the right audience, and switch it up. Give it a shot, change it up, and see what happens. Worst thing that can happen is nobody still buys, so that just means you still don't have the right headline. So that was the scripts for secret number 18. Tomorrow we'll be doing secret 19, and from here on out it's all about the scripts. But go ahead, check that little link down below, get your copy of Dotcom Secrets. It is an awesome hardcover book that you can get to follow along with me during the 30-day challenge and get yourself up and going. So you guys have a fantastic day, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.